This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
For many years now, it is remarkable to say that out loud, but for many years, I have been talking about consequences for Donald Trump, legal ramifications for Donald Trump's criminality. Justice should be done. We need to get away, and I think the time is right now, where people are demanding equality and egalitarianism relative to how the justice system works for some and works against others. And Donald Trump has lived much of his life with zero consequence. He's done nothing to earn what he has. His father gave him everything. In fact, he squandered what was given to him, and it's only through loans and self-dealing and criminal behavior that he is where he is now. The Mueller report came out. It outlined several instances of clear criminality in obstruction of justice, and nothing has been done. Nothing has been done, even though we now have Merrick Garland at the helm of the Department of Justice. We're seeing nothing being done. That is not the case, though, relative to state and local municipal district attorneys and the Attorney General of the state of New York, Leticia James. Washington Post reported this yesterday on Sunday. Trump Organization attorneys given Monday deadline to persuade prosecutors not to file charges against it. Now, I have my criticisms here, but I'm going to wait until we see what transpires from this. I'm hoping that charges against the Trump Organization will also lead to personal charges against Donald Trump, even though really it's one and the same. I mean, technically it is, because the Trump Organization is tiny. It is Trump and his dingus kids. It's not a large corporation of hundreds or thousands of people. It's like 6 people. Reading from the Washington Post, prosecutors in New York have given former President Donald Trump's attorneys a deadline of Monday afternoon to make any final arguments as to why the Trump Organization should not face criminal charges over its financial dealings, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. That deadline is a strong signal that Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance and New York Attorney General Leticia James, now working together after each has spent more than 2 years investigating Trump's business, are considering criminal charges against the company as an entity. You see, what Donald Trump has been accused of doing, what it seems very clear that he did, is devalue and inflate the value of companies. So when it's time to pay taxes and answer to Uncle Sam and the government, he devalues what he owns. Oh no, there's all these losses and I've had to do this and it's not worth that much. But then when he goes to a bank for a loan, this is a wonderful property. It's worth so much money. Devaluing and escalating in the value. That is illegal. That is bank fraud, but it's also tax fraud. Because if one or the other is, let's say that he's giving the bank the real value, he's defrauding the government. And if he's giving the government the real value, he's defrauding the bank. My guess is that both is happening. He's not giving the correct value to either entity. Therefore, it could be cases of tax fraud and bank fraud, among many others. Earlier this year, Vance convened a grand jury in Manhattan to consider indictments in the investigation. No entity or individual has been charged in the investigations thus far. And then here we go, setting us up. And it remains possible that no charges will be filed. there is another element. Well, one, this could be, my earlier video today talked about all of these people in Trump's orbit who are trying to jettison themselves from the orbit of Donald Trump, trying to rehab their images, trying to distance themselves from association with him. And relative to the family, because it's being reported that Jared and Ivanka are trying to do it, this might be the reason for it. That they want to act, do a pull of Donald Trump and act like George Papadopoulos was the coffee boy. Never knew him, didn't know him. What? Who's that? It's the same kind of thing. It's not going to work because their name, literal name, is on the businesses. They will hopefully face consequence. The other thing relative to consequence, and better late than never, is the fact that Nancy Pelosi on the 24th announced that there will be a select committee investigating the attempted coup, the attempted insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th. It took a month after the GOP colluded with Mitch McConnell to do him a personal favor to vote against a bipartisan 9/11 style commission to look into it. But better late than never. Reading from NPR, this article, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi launches select committee to probe January 6th insurrection. Nearly a month after Senate Republicans blocked a move to vote on an outside commission to probe the January 6th attack on the Capitol, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she'll move forward with plans to launch a select committee to take over the probe. Pelosi shared the news in a press conference on Thursday in which she blasted Republicans for preventing a bipartisan commission from moving forward. Here's a moment from that particular news conference where she announced.
For this morning, with great solemnity and sadness, I'm announcing that the House will be establishing a select committee on the January 6th insurrection. Again, January 6th was one of the darkest days in our nation's history. I've said it now 3 times. It is imperative that we establish the truth of that day and ensure that an attack of that kind cannot happen and that we root out the causes of it all. The Select Committee will investigate and report on the facts and the causes of the attack, and it will report recommendations for the prevention of any future attack.
And again, one, better late than never. Listen, I definitely have criticisms for Nancy Pelosi. I think we need new, younger, fresher leadership in Congress. We need to move on from antiquity, to move on from octogenarians being in charge of the agenda of America. We need to let people who are going to live in America for another several decades be the ones who shape the future of our country. I have other criticisms, but I've stated them here before. So the reason that this is important is the fact that there will be, if this is done right, I believe there will be sitting members of Congress outed as instrumental in the organization, the planning, and the undertaking of the insurrection at the Capitol. And they had better expel those members. They had better forward their findings to the Justice Department, who, other than right now investigating for indictment the individuals, are not looking into the root causes to get to the bottom of what took place in order that we prevent it from happening again. That is important. But there needs to be, again, I'm beating a drum here, consequences for those involved. The Lauren Boeberts in Congress, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of Congress, the Paul Gosars, the Louis Gohmerts, the Mo Brooks, the traitors to our republic who endeavored to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America. There needs to be consequence. Anyway, I would love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Listen, reasonable people can disagree. Reasonably. Agreeably, we can disagree. I know a lot of people they don't like when I speak ill of Nancy Pelosi. That's okay. I don't think she's bad for America, but I think there are others in Congress who are better for America, who could do a better job. So don't at me, as they say, about that. We just disagree, and that's okay. Follow me on social media. I would absolutely love to connect with you there. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on the TikTok. Just still weird to say. If you enjoy my work, if I bring you value in any way, I would encourage you, if it is in your financial means, to consider becoming a channel member. You can click the join button below the video, see what's involved, and for as little as $2 a month, you can help support my work. You can help produce what I do on YouTube on an almost daily basis. It is only because of my audience that I am here, because without an audience, I would just be yammering into a camera that may or may not be turned on at the time. I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you'd like to hear more from me, you can subscribe to my podcast. It's called I Doubt It. It's on everywhere that podcasts are, or you can just simply go to dollemore.com. I'd love to have you to tune in and catch up with us on a weekly basis. There we play a lot of listener voicemails, a lot of audience interaction. It is a good time, a lot more free-flowing, a lot more F-bombs, believe it or not. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. And until I do, please be genuine. Take care of one another.